Hello, it's Jayska from Madame Stick's YouTube channel. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going over this character here on the video game called Dead by Daylight. It's a horror video game. I play on this person's Steam account and I use all their other resources. So this is how I have this character dressed. I've got this character prestige to a level 10. His name is Vittorio Toscano. If I'm not saying it right, I'm sorry. Last time we did a video, we left off on the character next to him, Hattie Cure. Let's get into reading his bio. Let me turn him around here too. Like I said, I have him prestige to level 10. Okay, Vittorio Toscano, born to the Alberta and Catina Toscana in 1343. Vittorio Toscano was the youngest of three and third in line to inherit his family's land. At age 15, his father sent him to train with Ettore Fabrizio, the same knight who trained the older brothers in the military arts. But Vittorio didn't take to the combat training the way his brothers did. As a result, as a student of philosophy, he believed physical violence to be last refuge of the incompetent. If I'm not saying these words right, incompetent. If I'm not saying these words right, I'm sorry. Infuriated by Vittorio's pacifism, Fabrizio ordered one of his pages to attack him. Vittorio dodged and blocked the blows, but refused to fight back. When his enraged opponent lunged, Vittorio parried. His attacker tripped, falling on his own dagger. He bled out in less than a minute, and Vittorio threw down his sword, swearing never to pick it up again. Since Vittorio demonstrated an aptitude for scholarship, his frustrated father sent him to study with his uncle Renzo. Besides being the Duke of Porto Cuzco, Renzo was also a scholar and collector of rare artifacts. Under Renzo's tutelage, Vittorio focused his studies on lost civilizations and ancient history. He researched forgotten tomes and became an expert on the philosophy and wisdom of ancient secret societies and obscure guardians of knowledge, guardians present in almost every century and culture, guardians that went by manifold names depending the time and region, were said to be from another dimension, a perfect world. He collected anything on watchers, keepers, guides, masters, observers. Vittorio's research revealed through guardians attacked as gatekeepers of advanced and arcane knowledge that would gradually help humanity transcend to a higher plane of existence. He theorized that observers waited for humanity to acquire wisdom before releasing knowledge that otherwise would lead to their self-destruction. Slowly, these observers found ways to inspire humanity with knowledge that would stimulate growth, understanding, and collective wisdom. Vittorio adopted his uncle Renzo's view that greed for money and power was the source of all conflict. His hope was that the lost knowledge of these gatekeepers might bring peace, harmony, and order to a violent world. At Vittorio's urging, Renzo mounted an expedition to find lost relics and artifacts from the ruins of antiquity. In Hungary, They discovered a bronze dodecahedron that dated back to Roman times. In Asia Minor, they uncovered a hidden tunnel beneath the obelisk in Theodosius, where they discovered stone tablets engraved in Atticadang cuneiform. They told their tale of a mysterious artifact split into three and scattered across the world, a clue that led them to the ruins of Troy, where a secret chamber revealed a treasure trove of antiquities. The most precious was a piece of that mysterious artifact, another clue that led them to Isle of Rollins, where a hidden cave held a secret part of that same relic. In Delphi, under the temple of Apollo, Vittorio discovered the third piece of a blank marble altar. Engravings on the altar showed a map of Crete and a star over the palace of Minos. Deep in the labyrinth below the ruins of the palace, Vittorio discovered a place to put the key created by the three relics. Ancient machinery came to life. A stone wall slid open, revealing a hidden vault. Renzo and Vittorio entered and found a white marble wall inscribed with what seemed to be a form of Sanskrit. The message warned of a cult that sought to corrupt humanity with knowledge it wasn't ready for. They had hunted down the observers and imprisoned them, but before being imprisoned, the observers and hidden artifacts around the world with secret knowledge about the dark force and how to stop it from destroying the world. The message on the wall also spoke of a stone from an ancient school that held the secrets of traveling between planes of existence. Vittorio believed the stone held the key to finding the observers or their perfect world, called the stone lapis paradisus. As they exited the vault, Renzo stopped on the black serpent. The serpent sank in its fangs until Renzo's leg and disappeared as quickly as it appeared. The venom spread fast. Within minutes he had passed away. As Renzo's only heir, Vittorio inherited his estate, his library, his title, his vast fortune, determined to honor his uncle and help humanity transcend its weakness, greed, and cruelty. He knew he had to find the lapis lazuli and free the observers if they were still alive. In 1391, Vittorio mounted an expedition. He employed a mercenary knight to aid in the effort of offer protection, formerly a member of the Guardian Compagnia. Targas Convicas feared no man or beast. Vittorio's expeditions and discoveries eventually led them to the heavily guarded catacombs beneath the Portuguese city in Sintra. If the expedition wanted to enter, they would have to kill those who guarded it. Vittorio had no wish to shed blood and told Tarhos to find another way. Tarhos defied Vittorio's and by the end of the day had him in irons. When they returned to Italy, Tarhos locked Vittorio in a dungeon and began a campaign of torture in Portuguese, promising to stop when he revealed the meaning behind the stone. Within weeks, Tarhos grew tired of torturing the townsfolk, and Vittorio was left to rot in the dungeon with no one to talk to but the rats. In his solitude, he scratched the symbols from the lapis lazuli into the stone floor. He attempted countless sequences while imagining a world like paradise, and just when he was about to surrender to hunger and despair, he tried one last sequence while meditating on a world of endless peace and compassion. At first he thought he had failed. He gasped with the last of his strength as the rats approached menacingly, preparing to feast on his defeated sallow flesh. Then suddenly a cold, unnatural black fog rose from the stone floor, and within moments he heard cries of anguished crows circling above him. With difficulty he clambered to his feet, found himself in another world, not the paradise he had expected. That's his bio. Now let's get into his perks. He's got potential energy. It's a rare perk because it's in the purple. Your arcane ability have adapted to the entity's realm after centuries of wandering, granting an unprecedented control over its many devices. After working on a generator for 8 uninterrupted seconds, press the active ability button 2 to activate the perk. When the perk is active, repairing the generator will charge this perk instead of making the generator progress. For each 1.5% of the generator repair, this perk will gain 1 token up to 20 tokens. While this perk is at least 1 token, you are working on a generator. You can press the active ability button 2 to consume all the tokens and instantly make the generator progress 1% for each token. This perk deactivates. If you lose a health state while this perk has at least 1 token, the perk will lose all tokens and deactivate. Missing a skill check will also result in some tokens lost. When you look a layer deeper, you realize everything is connected. Vittorio Toscano, that's his quote. Let's go to his second perk, Fogwise. It's a rare perk because it's in the purple. In your countless years in the fog, you've seen it all, and when you're focused, you can remember most of it too. Hitting a great skill check while repairing a generator reveals the killer's aurora to you for 6 seconds. I have seen great cruelty, and I have also seen another way. Vittorio Toscano. Now his last perk is Quick Gamblet, and it's a rare perk. It's in purple. When you have a killer's attention, you know how to keep it. Others be confident they won't be interrupted anytime soon. When you are chased by the killer, see the aurora of other survivors. Any survivor repairing a generator gains a 5% repair speed bonus. This perk goes on cooldown for 60 seconds when you lose a health state. When we need not resort to violence, and I shall prove it. Vittorio Toscano. Now, I don't hardly use any of his perks besides potential energy and quick gamblet sometimes. I don't really play this character that often. Let's look at his customizations. Like I said, I have him prestige to level 10. He's got rolling ball outfit, bloody Vittorio Toscano outfit, seeker of truth, fog in expeditioner outfit, fog narrator outfit, fog traveler outfit, and fog wonder outfit. And Vittorio Toscano, that's his original outfit. I have fog wonder outfit on him right now. Okay, now let's go over to his loadout. You can see kind of what I'm using on him and what kind of perks I'm using on him. It's right now still the Blood Moon event. And then here's his blood wheel. Like I said, I don't play him that often. So there is introduction to Vittorio Toscano. Or Toscano. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Sorry if I'm not. I appreciate those of you who watch my videos and support me and my 2 daughters. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks. Bye-bye.